All right, what is up, YouTube? Got the green light. I am a little bit late. I know. My mother's already texted me asking me where I am. Sound good? Let me know if the sound is too loud or too soft. I can adjust it. The mic is always different every time I get on here. Ramsey, quick with the first, although he hasn't been first on videos recently. What's up with that, Ramsey? Also, sorry about your boys. Sorry about them Rockets. Who are you rooting for in the finals, though? Do you want to see Bron pull the biggest upset literally known to man? It ain't gonna happen. I love me some Ohio, but I don't think it's gonna happen. What is up, Anthony? What is up, Huffin? What is up, Donovan? What is up, Yasir? What is up, Hafid again? Sound is good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, I am going to try to do a better job of monitoring the YouTube side of the live stream because I usually just stay on OBS and my my stream goes down every once in a while and I don't know and I keep talking. So I'm going to try to remember to actually do that. Of course you were about to say I was late, Richard. Of course. My mother already texted me, like, no joke. Hit me with that where you at. That where you at text. That you up text. The stream's supposed to start. No, I was trying to get some stuff done. I had some stuff come in the mail. I wanted to go grab that. And I was late today. I'm just really tired and hungry today. So yeah, but we're making it and we're here. And I had to open up windows. It's like not the best day outside lighting wise. So anywho's. What is up, Kamau? What is up, Neo? McCoder, Tyler, all coming in. Ramsey's boycotting the finals. Oh no, McCoder says LeBron on a mission. Absolutely. I mean, I'll be interested to see what happens. I have a feeling it's going to be a really non-entertaining series. Yeah, I would just assume that it's not going to be, but I want to see LeBron go off with a bunch of scrubs. Watched Kyle Korver and Kevin Love being misused. I don't know. I like LeBron. I like watching him do things, and I think we'll miss him when he's gone. What is up, David? Oh, yeah. I'm glad you could come up, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. Hafid, thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that a lot. Honestly, it's what it's all about. It's about this community and you guys. That's why I do what I do. I love coming here and hanging out with you guys and seeing the comments and all of that stuff, honestly. It's a really good feeling. Tyler randomly showing up. God bless it. It's my time thing. It's this stupid computer's time mess up, and I'm not going to fix it this time because it's awkward. I do it every time, and I need to remember to do it beforehand. I know that doesn't make any sense. I didn't really explain what was going on. The time on my computer loses time, and then YouTube uses the time of the computer and not the time of the connection. So it thinks that I'm in the past streaming. So when I first start my stream, it says started -13 seconds ago or whatever. So what can you do? What can you do? What is up, Dan Matthews? How's it be? How's it be? Storm weather over there. It's raining on and off. Right now it's actually kind of sunny outside, but it just will randomly start raining even when the sun's out. So yeah. Nicholas, what is up at the live stream? We are here. We are here and we're having a good time, man. I'm glad you could make it. Thumbs up, people. That's right. Ramsey, thanks for the plug. Hey, guys. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. They're super awesome. So you played the new Ice Wallet? I don't know. So I will tell you, Ronaldo, the amount of gaming knowledge I have is very limited. I don't play a lot of video games anymore, which is sad. I used to play a lot more, but I've gotten too caught up in other things. The only game that I play right now is Fortnite. And before that, I was playing a lot of FIFA. I'm a big FIFA fan. But I play Fortnite for an hour most days, but that's all the time I got, so. Oh my God. I get the joke now. You're so funny, man. You're so funny. The puns in the chat. So much. Oh man. What can you do? I don't know if anybody else caught what just happened to me. I'm bad at jokes. I'm bad. You love the microphone. It looks like a sticker. It's not a sticker. It's a real mic. No, but it is right here, front and center, like where it should be. It's a CAD U37. So Ramsey knew what was up. Ramsey knew what was up before I did. Catch that hammer, though. Oh, man. What can you do, though? It's part of it. It's how you do. Somebody asked a question, what is good for freelancing, PHP or React? So Hafid, it depends on what you want to do. If you're wanting to build like front-end web applications, React is nice. PHP is nice for the back end. PHP is really useful when it comes to freelancing because a lot of freelancing gigs, you're going to be doing stuff with like WordPress and stuff like that. So WordPress is really nice, and it's using PHP. Its own like kind of personal flavor of PHP, but if you know PHP, it's easy to catch on. So what have I been working on? I've been building out my portfolio site. That's the #1 thing that I'm working on right now, and the progress is slow. I've been working on it in the mornings, like before I go to work, because I wake up really early and I haven't been going back to bed now. So yeah, from like 5 to like 6:30, I've been working on the portfolio site. I'm trying to get it like perfect the first time, as opposed to what I usually do, which is kind of like do it halfway and get everything done to like the minimum and then go and like tweak. I'm trying to just like make sure every component is right and like really thinking about the structure of the components and things like that, as opposed to like just throwing crap against the wall and then seeing what happens. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Dream development job. I want to work on a team with some more developers and build the next big application to take over its competitors. That's my dream job. If you want to say that's a job, it's definitely a job, man. I totally understand that. Like, half of the fun of being in development is having the ability to work on like dope stuff. And that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Still on the fingers. No, for sure, man. Tyler, I get it. Here is raining in Paris. Yeah, we've had rain. Like, it's been raining for like, I don't know, almost every day for the past week and a half, 2 weeks here. And it's going to keep going. And then there's like some tropical depression or storm or something coming in. So, yeah. I'm going to say PHP for WordPress. People can host on shared hosting, etc. No, I agree with you, Richard. We agree on this. Yeah, PHP is going to be more important for WordPress specifically. If you're wanting to do like front-end application freelance stuff, then React would obviously be more important, but there's way less opportunity out there for just a random front-end freelancer when you're first starting out, for sure. I've ever tried to eat a clock. It's very time-consuming. I get it. See, I get that joke before it goes crazy. Let me see here. We're just going to keep doing that. Let's see. Getting thrown off. Of course, Hafid, of course. Also, Richard Codes is like super dope. He has a YouTube channel. He also has a like Instagram account that's like, I don't know, got 1,000 or like 10,000 followers. He's like famous on Instagram or something. Go check him out. Richard Codes. He's a dope dude. Ramsey, you're never getting mod power. You're a James Harden fan. I can't give you that kind of power. There's too much responsibility there for you. Trying to work on yours too, Nick. That's awesome, man. How's it going? How's it coming along? What are you building it with? What is up, young Carlos? How many people do we have here in the chat? I'm going to share this. Okay, so I started filming a video today, and it's going to be out either tomorrow or Friday, but probably tomorrow. I'll probably finish it tonight. The video that I'm making today, I'm going to give you guys as a like little preview of the video tomorrow. You're here early, you're here within the first 15 minutes, get a little preview of the video. So I'm doing a sort of unboxing video, partially, and also talking about a tip to like really be able to learn code on your own. But somebody just showed up in the chat, the Coder Store. And if you don't know them, go check them out on Instagram, thecoder.store, or check them out on the internets at www.thecoder.store. They are awesome. They make really cool stuff. And as a matter of fact, I can show you what they make because I got one. So check this out. How dope is this shirt? My webcam doesn't do the yellow color justice, which I'm sad about. It's a little bit too bright, so it kind of washes it out. But it's this like, it's a t-shirt, and it's got a coffee cup and code on it. If there are two things that define me, it's coffee and it's code. I saw this shirt and I was like, oh, that's mine. Gotta have it. And no, the Coder store is not paying me. I bought that shirt with my own money. Not a sponsor, not an ad. Hashtag no sellout. So yeah, if you guys want to check them out, the shirt is really awesome. It fits great. I got a medium. I'm a medium or a large in some places. It depends on the shirt, and it's really good. Plenty of length on the shirt, and yeah, check them out. How are you doing today, though, the Coder store? How's it going? Big favor. Do you have any advice for cover letters? I have my portfolio, CV, and GitHub almost ready, but it's hard to convince recruiters to take a chance on a 34-year-old junior. Advice. Well, Mr. David, I was not a 34-year-old junior, but I was a 28-year-old junior. You know, when I was first doing this thing, I was 28 or 27. How old was I? It'll be 2 years. I was 28. As far as the cover letter goes, I would write a different cover letter for every company that you apply for, and it's more time consuming, and it's hard to pull off, and yeah, it takes a little bit longer. But honestly, like, write a one-page cover letter for every company that you apply for, and speak to them about why you're passionate about what they do, why you like what they do, what you like about their culture, how you would fit in. Talk about your motivation level. See, here's the thing though, you think that as a 34-year-old junior, you're behind the eight ball because you're too old or whatever, right? That's part of the problem. And I totally get that. But here's the thing that you need to keep in your mind is that you have a story behind your junior web development career, right? So yeah, it's weird. There's 22-year-olds who just got out of college or whatever it is, and they want to get into the industry. But like, you're doing something like you're changing your life. You should speak to that in your cover letters, right? You should let them know a little bit of your story and tell them why that's important and why that'll help them. You have this motivation and drive inside of you that you've already shown off because you've went out and you've put your life on hold. You've given up some hobbies or whatever it is. You've sacrificed your time and energy to take a big risk to change careers. So use that to your advantage, and then talk about like dope stuff that you've done or the dope stuff that they do and why you can help and why it's exciting to you. Ramsey did threaten you, but does he ever have a reason to threaten anybody? Richard hasn't uploaded in 2 months. Yeah, Tyler, I know. But he is still active on Instagram, and he streamed on Twitch like a week ago. It's pretty cool. I would follow him on Instagram and hit his subscribe button for when he does pop up and give us some more content, some of that British and Norway goodness that Richard delivers. Quick question, what's your view on Java and the Spring framework? Started learning that and how to build microservice. PS, starting IBM research next week. That is awesome, Anthony. So Java and the Spring framework specifically are like, they're really popular. I think during my last stream, the Coder Store was talking about it with somebody in the chat as well. Java is super popular, especially where I live, right? In Raleigh, North Carolina, it's super popular because there's a ton of like enterprise tech jobs out here. So places like banks and stuff, because they have code that was written, forever ago. It was all written in Java, and it's really, really nice. Java is a useful skill to have, and there's so much code written in it that those jobs aren't going away quickly. It's not one of those things that's just going to be here for now and like disappear, because there's so much code out there for it. He is awesome, Donovan. He is. Aw, shucks, Richard. Last year I started web development, and now I work with HTML, CSS, and want to learn React for UI, then move to Node.js as a backend. That's awesome, Hufford. That is awesome. That is exactly what I did. Well, almost exactly. I learned Angular first and then React. And I've picked up a bit of Node along the way, and I need to get back into it. But right now, working on my portfolio, which doesn't need a backend because I'm using Gatsby. And with Gatsby, you can pull in data sources from other places. So you can use like markdown files or an external API. And that's what I'm going to be using, specifically the WordPress API for their backend, just to house the content of like the blog. And then it'll be a single page portfolio site everywhere else. So it'll be a single page portfolio site, all written in React through Gatsby, and then there will be a blog that's also written in React and Gatsby. It'll be React components, and we'll pull in the data with GraphQL from the WordPress API. That is how I am doing it. Angular 5 CSS and HTML, classic. How do you like Angular 5, Nicholas? How do you like it? Hafid, that's awesome, man. Honestly, it's so good to hear. A lot of YouTubers have been slacking the last few months. Ramsey, who are you talking about? I have an idea of who you're talking about. If you're talking about the dreaded dev, tell him to get on his thing. Tell him to get on it. He hasn't been around in a long time. Chris Sean either. I saw Chris Sean tweeted today that he's going to be uploading a video today. So we'll see. Maybe it'll come out during the stream. I can read you guys the title. I'll get a notification if he uploads. So yeah, Chris and the dreaded dev both have taken some time off recently, but I love both of their channels. So some people should not have credit cards. Me, because I bought a shirt. Are you talking about me, David? Are you talking about me? I bought one shirt, and it was on sale. I don't know if that sale's still going on, but it was on sale. Also using Bootstrap. Nice. Yeah, new Bootstrap's pretty cool. Seen a shirt that said, when in doubt, comment it out. Definitely going to buy that. That's what's up, man. That is what's up. The amount of commenting out I've done is amazing. That's the one thing that I don't love about TypeScript is that I can't do like quick and dirty debugging like I normally do, like just throwing in a random console log message and forgetting to put a semicolon. Like normally in JavaScript, that's all right. Like I'm just trying to debug, guys. Like let me just throw this console log in there. But TypeScript is like, nah, bruh. You gonna need to put that semicolon back in there or we're not going to compile. TypeScript is a very, very picky thing to work with. 1 week. My father says 1 week in the chat. 1 week until my father and I are on our way to Manchester, Tennessee to go to the happiest place on earth, also known as Bonnaroo. Anybody in the chat know what Bonnaroo is? Feel free to let me know about it. It's our first time, my father and I. If you're going to Bonnaroo this year, let me know too, because I'll be there. And you talk a lot about cover letters. What is it? You suck at writing, but you're a good programmer. Yeah, so that's like a real thing, right? You don't necessarily have to have good writing skills to be a good programmer. You don't necessarily have to have great writing skills to write a good cover letter either, though. And I find that a lot of people have a lot easier of a time writing about things that they're passionate about and writing about things that interest them and writing about themselves because you know yourself pretty well. And so you don't have to have the most elegant prose out there in the world, right? I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I have a creative writing degree. So I've been like trained in this topic, right? And not everyone has that luxury. But the content is what's important more than the words that you choose. And like if you put the comma in the right place and if things are flowing, like you don't have to write your cover letter in iambic pentameter, right? It doesn't need to be Shakespeare. But you should be able to at least write a cover letter that speaks to why it is that you would be great at this job and why it is that you really, really, really like this company and you really want to work for them. Red Dragon, if you have any questions about cover letters, feel free to send me one your way. I get a lot of people that reach out like for me to look over like portfolio sites and cover letters and resumes and stuff like that, and sometimes it gets lost in the fold. So if you ever send me something, do not be afraid to follow up in a few days. If I don't respond, don't be afraid to follow up in a few days, specifically on like Instagram or Twitter, because I check those. And what probably has happened, and I do this even when it comes to like text messages that I get from like my friends and stuff like that, I will see that somebody has hit me up and I will say, I'm going to respond to that in 30 seconds. And then my mind goes elsewhere because I don't know why, whatever. And so I forget. Don't think that you're bothering me if you send me a message every few days to look at something. So if you have a cover letter that you're writing, or if you want to try your hand out at a cover letter and send it my way, feel free to do that. Young Carlos was in the NC area last week. She wants to move out there. How huge the houses are for the price. That's really funny. So it's really funny. I'm not from here originally, right? I'm from Ohio, like the Dayton area of Ohio. And so I always make fun of my wife because we were looking at buying houses and stuff like that. And the market here in North Carolina compared to the market back home in like the Dayton area or even like the Columbus area of Ohio, like you get like 30% more house for the money there than you do here. So to me, these houses are expensive. Where are you coming from, Giancarlo? I am interested to know. The constant humidity will kill you. Yeah, I mean, I moved from a humid place in Ohio, so it's not too far off for me. What part of North Carolina were you in, man? WordPress, yeah, WordPress backend, just for the CMS side of things, just so I can write blog posts and have a WYSIWYG editor, and I don't have to mess with Markdown files because I don't want to write Markdown. I hate Markdown. It feels dirty. Giancarlo, the market for developers is really good, like really, really good. We have a ton of big tech companies here. We have a ton of like VC funds here. Not like necessarily here in this area, but there's a lot of VC like money that comes in. Oh God, Richard, I will kill you. Hide that chat right now. Yeah, there's a lot of money that gets pumped in here. There's a lot of really good startups. There's a lot of good, really like pockets where like startups all kind of like commingle. It's really cool. It's a really good area. We have IBM, we have Lenovo, we have SAS, we have Cisco. They're all here in the triangle. And it does really good stuff for us. Also, Epic Games, if you're a Fortnite fan, Epic Games is here in the triangle as well. You are slacking, Richard. You are. I got done with redevelopment of my portfolio website finally in Angular. That's what's up, Donovan. I know you've been working hard on that. So you are all finished? All finished, hands off? That's awesome, man. All the job emails. Yeah, go change your LinkedIn profile to say that you live in the Raleigh area and see how many recruiters hit you up on a regular basis. What is up, Larry G, my dude? See, Larry is one of the guys that sent me a resume and I forgot to respond. And he just hit me up like a couple of days later and was like, hey man, can you look at it? I will look at it, I promise. The Miami area. Is the Miami area not great for the job market? I don't know, man. Miami got that beach though. We're like 2 hours away from beaches here, which is nice. It's way closer than Ohio, but I don't know. Miami's pretty dope, man. It is expensive though, I give you that. Angular 5 is great. There's a bit of a learning curve, but once you get the hang of it, producing dynamic data is a lot easier than traditional methods. Yeah, dude, that's the power of the framework, right? And I don't know Angular 5, but I know Angular 1. There's some similar concepts if I understand it correctly. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, learning curves suck for those frameworks, but once you get them, like once those things click, I was just talking to somebody earlier about it who was learning React, and like Redux is a bear. Like the learning curve on Redux is straight up. Shaking my head in the chat. Yeah, the learning curve is straight up. And then once you get it, you feel so powerful once you understand Redux and you get it working and like fully functioning. It's interesting. The one drawback is because there are 3 major universities within 30 miles, many larger companies are stuck in the gotta have a degree stone ages. Yeah, that's true, Ramsey. Like we have Duke, we have UNC, and we have NC State. The cool thing though is that there's so many startups, that there's so many opportunities, you can really kind of get around that. Yeah, you absolutely don't need a CS degree to really get a job here though. I mean, I had no problem getting my first job. I did go to a boot camp, obviously, but like I know plenty of people who were self-taught who ended up in this thing. You're from New York. I love New York. I'll trade you. Let me go to New York City. Let me go to New York City. Wake Forest. Wake Forest is over in Winston. It's like, 45 minutes from here, I think. And then, yeah, Duke, the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, who I have to be allegiant to because my wife graduated from there twice. And then NC State. Not even reading that chat anymore, Richard. Do you have time to learn other things, or the web development job is overwhelming? Jordan, when I first started, it was definitely overwhelming. You're just getting like your handle on everything, right? So it can be a bit time consuming, especially your first job or when you start a new job and you're really trying to like show that like motivation and stuff. But I have time to work on other stuff. I have time to do other things, not even web developer related. I have the ability to have a life, and I've had that at both of the jobs that I've had, and I'm super thankful for it. There are some places that may try to work you to death, but that's the cool thing about living in an area where there's a ton of tech opportunity, is that if I get a job that doesn't respect my time outside of work, then I can say bye and go get another opportunity. What is up, Lawrence? How is South Africa treating you today, my man? How goes it? I'm going to kill my father. Jordan, you can send me things. So the best way, the quickest way to get a response usually is going to be if you send it to me via Instagram or Twitter. It's at 937Aaron. Just hit me up in the DMs there and let me know. If I don't respond right away, like within a couple of days, feel free to reach back out. Don't laugh. It makes it worse. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. So yeah, I titled the name of this stream Dream Developer Job. Dream Development Job. So I want to ask you guys, I know a lot of you guys are just starting out and you really just want any job, but if you could pick anywhere to work, maybe you don't even know the specific company, but if you could come up with the idea of the company that you want to work for, what is it? And I'll go into mine right now since we're a little bit into this stream, and I'm assuming a lot of the people that are going to be here are here. So I mentioned it in my last video that I was at a place now to like share stuff with the world. And what I kind of meant by that is that I want to move towards what I want to end up being for the rest of my life. Like what I want to be my dream job. And so I got into this YouTube thing for a lot of reasons. One of them is because I like making video. I really enjoy making videos. And I enjoy writing and screenwriting. Screenwriting was my passion, so I enjoy movies. And I enjoy creating in any forms. And so when I got into this YouTube thing, it was all about that. And then I found out that, I kind of like the hustle of YouTube too. I kind of like this like digital marketing stuff. I kind of like the like content strategy, grow an audience thing as well. And while I haven't done the greatest job of going through all of those things that I should be doing to make sure that my channel stays on the up and up, right? I enjoy it. So I enjoy that side of things, and I enjoy development, and I enjoy building things for the web and working on cool stuff. And I mentioned it in my last video too. My brain always has thousands of ideas and they're always like jumping in and out, and I like to work on stuff and like work on it. And yeah, I like to move around. I like to lots of that. So in a dream world, what I would do, my dream development job would be that I would own my own digital agency, consultancy kind of company where I help small to medium-sized businesses grow their digital footprint. And what that would mean is, website work, development work, if they need apps, things like that. And then also content. I like to write content, and just growing that whole kind of aspect for them to really help them out and grow their business. So businesses that I believe in and helping them do that. And that's what I would want to do. And I would want to own that. I want to start my own company to do that. And there's a lot of people who do it already. That's not, it's a crowded space. It really is. But if I could think of one thing that I'd want to do, I'd want to be my own boss, and I'd want to make really cool stuff for really cool people, and constantly be evolving and constantly working on different things and have this whole holistic approach to the digital world. It wouldn't just be web design and web development. It wouldn't just be content. It wouldn't just be digital marketing. It would be all of those wrapped into one nice little package that you could get. And I just think that would be really cool. So that's the dream for me. I see Tesla in the chat. Tesla would be cool to work for. Elon Musk is a crazy dude, man. I'm sure he's a blast to work for. Or it's terrible. Those people can go either way. But I think it would be pretty cool. I actually have a buddy of mine's brother is like one of the head salesmen for Tesla in Ohio, which is pretty wild. Valve is a game company, yeah? I'm pretty sure Valve's a game company. I actually want to work for an agency. A lot of people would think that's hell, but I like the idea of new websites regularly. Exactly, Richard. That's what I'm saying. The one thing that I'll say about agency work specifically is that, from what I understand, it is a hustle. Like it's a lot of work, and like they expect you to put in long hours and stuff like that, but you get compensated for that. But I agree. I think when I first started, man, I wanted to work at an agency so bad. Man, I spent a lot of time trying to get agencies to hire me for my first gig. So I like where I am now at my job as a dev thus far. That's what's up, Donovan. What do you like about it? What's great about your job? Nicholas, dream job, remote mean stack developer. Remote. I understand that. I understand that need, that want, that desire. It's definitely nice to not always have to be at an office every day. I'm actually going to do a video. I actually filmed a video and then deleted it because I hated the way that it came across. It came across really bad, about remote work in development, specifically for your first job. I have some opinions on that, but I'm going to save it for a video itself. I still have one problem, which is that I don't know so much. Oh, somebody asked how we can send you things. I already answered that. Never mind. I thought I missed it. I'm going crazy. I need to eat something. I still have one problem, which is that I don't know so much about the web and the culture of the web. Last year I was studying quantum physics at university, and this year I'm studying programming. Really so cool. Yeah, dude. I honestly, like, I was nerdy in high school, right? Like I liked when I was really young, I was super into comic books and like comic book trading cards, and like the Marvel universe and stuff like that. My parents still have binders of like cards, like almost like baseball cards that were mine, that were like Marvel trading cards. I was really into that. Dude, I played Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering and all that crap. Like I was nerdy, but I wasn't into like tech really. Like I had a phone really early on and that sort of stuff. Like I remember I copped a Motorola Razr when I was in high school, which was really cool. But like I didn't like hack on computers when I was 12. Like we had a computer. I played the Oregon Trail a lot on it, but I never tried to like put Linux or Ubuntu on like my parents' like laptops or anything, right? I wasn't that person. I programmed a little bit on my MySpace profile, but I was never that guy that like knew about like programming as a thing because I thought it was outside of my reach. I thought it was outside of my capabilities. It just wasn't something that I thought I saw myself doing. So I don't think you're behind the eight ball at all, man. It's really it comes as it comes, right? Shouts out to the troll earlier. He would be eating that up. Polygon, you're lying. You prefer what you do now, full-time freelancer. Prob's just not getting enough income, but is pretty busy, fun, not coding, doing art. Oh, that's what's up, man. Are you, 3 polygons, I'm going to ask you a weird question. Are you my niece's friend? But that is pretty cool that you're doing freelance game art. That's awesome. I have an idea for a video game that I really, really, really want to make. I've had this idea for this video game for a long time, and I downloaded like Unity a year and a half ago to try to build it. And that's the one thing that I wish I had more time for, was to be able to work on things like that I have no concept of how to do, like completely pick up new skills. But that's just another one of those things you can add to the list of stuff that I like am really into and want to do someday, but just don't know how to do it right now. Also on that list is woodworking. I'm trying to convince my wife to let me try to build a desk when we move here in a couple months. We'll see if she agrees or not. I enjoyed being the CSS guy at a company. CSS is fun. A lot of people hate CSS, but it can be a bear. Totally get that. It's fun though. I like it. I like making things pretty. I can't make this thing pretty, so I might as well make web pages pretty, right? That remote life would be nice, but I feel like it would get boring after a year being home all day. It can get boring. If you don't have enough work, it can definitely get boring. It can also be a little overwhelming and hard to pull off when you notice all of the distractions you have in your house, right? I like working from home, actually. I am not a big fan, and I know, don't crucify me, tech world. I'm not the biggest fan of open offices. I'm just not. I'm a social person. I'm an extrovert. And so when I'm in an open office, I tend to talk too much and I feel like I don't get enough stuff done. So I actually like working from home for that reason. I thought I would be more distracted at home, but it actually turns out to not be the case, especially if you work in an office with a lot of other like extroverted or outgoing people. So Billy, you got the same hat? It's from H&M. Honestly, I get more compliments about my hats than like anything else. Like they're just H&M hats. They're like from random places. But yeah. That's what's up, Billy. It's a good hat. I like it. I got it in gray too, like the gray on gray, and then I have the black and brown. Yeah. Curse, which is a Twitch company, is hiring devs, I think, to work on their D&D and Beyond product. That's pretty cool, Ryan. That's what's up. That is pretty cool. I know when I was applying to jobs for my second job, I applied to Epic, who are the people who make Fortnite. They were looking for a front-end dev. They were looking for somebody with like way more experience than I had, but I like really wanted that job. I thought that would be cool. A coding RPG. It's not. It's an open world, like an open world platformer hybrid. That's all I can say. It's a secret. I want to work in the music industry as a web developer to help bands. On the weekends, I like to play in bands. Right now, I just know HTML, CSS, and I'm learning JavaScript. That is what's up, Body Electric. What do you play in bands? I play the guitar here and there. I used to be in bands in high school. I was an angsty scenester kid. I wanted to be Fall Out Boy or Taking Back Sunday or, you know the bands. That kind of stuff, yeah. I played a lot of music back in the day. I still have an acoustic that I'll strum around on every once in a while, so. Polygons, you're not my niece's friend. Okay. Well, she just has a friend who I think wants to be a game designer or is doing that. Yeah, she tends to tell people about this channel, so I didn't know if you just happened to come hang out. It just would have been funny. Are there any skill swap indie game groups in your community? That's a good question, Nicholas. I don't know. I should check that out, though. I know there's definitely a independent game maker meetup in the Triangle, but I don't know about that. I have a job interview tomorrow for a full stack position. It'll be my first job, but it starts at $30K salary. Should I expect more for my first gig or use this opportunity to build my experience? Jay, where is that job for? Like where in the country are you? Are you in the US? Or are you somewhere else? 30K a year for a junior dev job sounds ridiculously underpaid to me. Now, I don't know where you are. I don't know what the market is where you are. But if somebody were here in Durham, Raleigh, and they were offered their first job, it was a full stack position. I don't care how junior it is. I don't care if you're writing just HTML all day and they offered you $30K a year, I would laugh at them. That's my opinion, though. I mean, if it's something that you want to do and you think it's a good opportunity, then by all means, do your thing, man. But 30K just seems like not even a little low. I could understand if it was close. Is it a really small company? Are they a startup? Are they having 30K is really low? Yeah, I don't know. 30K just is buck wild to me, man. I turned down my last job offer. The recruiter screwed me up for that so bad and already put in my 2 weeks notice. What happened, Joseph? How'd he screw you over? Recruiters can be an interesting collective of people, believe me. Recruiters are interesting. Richard, let's jam. Let's do it live on the internet. I'm bad now. I don't have all the skills I used to have, man. Guitar, viola, and sing. Keep playing music. Would love to write a song about web development with you. That's what's up, man. I'm down. I am a lyricist. That's what I always did. Write lyrics, man. Write my lyrics. Let me do something, actually. Here, I'm going to look it up. Average salary web developer Miami. Can I spell today? Let's see. What is the average web designer? No, web developer, please. Web developer in Miami, Fort Lauderdale on Glassdoor. Average base pay, $71,000. That's for all years of experience, all company sizes. For 0 to 1 year of experience, 0 to 1 year experience here. Let me actually share this. I think I can do that. All right, I hope you guys can see my screen. This is glassdoor.com. This is what they say. Entry-level web developer in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, all years of experience. Average base pay, 55. That's in Miami. That's the average base pay. So even if you're on the low end here, 41. That's still, 33% more than what they're offering you for a full stack developer in Miami. So I don't know what that company is trying to get. I don't know if they're a tiny little company and they're just trying to get cheap labor. I don't know what it is, but that's really low. In rural areas in Wisconsin, junior positions start around 30 to 40K versus Milwaukee or Madison. Yeah, no, totally, Nicholas. I totally understand that. And I agree with you, right? If it was 30 or 40K and he said he lived in Iowa, in the middle of nowhere or something like that, I mean, it's still like, it still feels low for the job, but it is what it is. But Miami is not a like low cost of living city by any means. Now, Florida doesn't have state income tax, so they don't have sales tax. There is some tax thing that they don't have, but yeah. Front end here, HTML and CSS to a very deep level, all graphics profiles, 18K in this country. Polygons, where are you at, man? Where are you at? What did you miss, Revisualize? You missed everything. You missed the whole stream. No, I'm just kidding. It's not over yet. Yeah, I was thinking maybe stay there for 6 months to a year, then leave for something better, but wasn't 100% sure. I mean, you can, by all means, you can do that, my man. I'm not telling you to not take the job. I'm just letting you know that that's not a normal salary for you to get. And also, I would not be afraid to try to negotiate. Use that Glassdoor thing. Say, this is what the average is. I'm willing to take way below the average, but I want 40. And see what they say. You have the ability to negotiate, and in my opinion, you should try. Now, if you want to use that position to try to get 6 months of experience so that you can go roll it up into another position and make twice as much money, that's doable. It just wouldn't be my first piece of advice to you. Have you been looking for a job for a year and haven't found anything, and this is the only opportunity you can get? Maybe. It's just like when people ask, should I do free work to start? Like, should I go make a website for a restaurant for free? And the answer is like, maybe, but I don't want to tell you to because it feels dirty. Like, you shouldn't have to. You should value your skills. Your skills have value. You're trading something of value. You should get something of value back. And while experience has value, that's valid. It's just like, it's the same reason why if somebody were like a musician, right? And I didn't know them, but I heard one of their songs and I was like, hey, I want to put your music in my videos. And I'm not going to pay you. I'm just going to give you the exposure. You'll probably get a couple of thousand views a video that I put it on. Like, that sucks. But they would be trading of something worth value. It's just not necessarily the value of the stuff that they put into it. Are there actually any developer roles that want any less than 3 years of experience? Revisualize, there are. And as a matter of fact, they're out there. And I bet a lot of them, when they get posted on the job, say that they want some experience on there, but they don't necessarily need to have it. Bad communicators. Well, that seems like a very, very bad thing for you to be if you're a recruiter. I've had some really, really great experiences with recruiters, and I've had some really, really poor experiences with recruiters. They're an interesting bunch. You'll be working on something that you really like, or maybe will help you in your future plans. How about opportunity of growth, culture? Yeah, I agree. These are all really important questions to ask. Gonna try to see if that salary is negotiable in the interview tomorrow. For sure, man. What I would suggest, honestly, Jay, is to not necessarily. Okay, so if they bring up this is my tip for you. If they bring up a salary in the interview, then have that conversation. If they don't bring it up, then maybe don't bring it up until you get an offer, and that's when you negotiate. Unless they've said, if they've told you straight up this is a 30K position, then maybe you do need to negotiate now. But typically, in my experience, I wouldn't negotiate until I got an offer. My numbers are from the south of Spain, not third world though. Might sound by the mid salary. No, man, I totally understand. Salaries are buck wild around the world. I definitely know that they range quite a bit around the globe. So don't work for slave wages. It undervalues the entire industry. It's a fact. That's why Fiverr is the worst. Fiverr. I've been burned on Fiverr, so I have a really, really low opinion of Fiverr, by the way. Take that Miami job for 6 months, then get out. That is an option. That is definitely an option. In the last 4 months, the only thing that feel is going to pan out is a 1 to 3 short-term contract as a Windows system administrator generalist. Hey, A job is a job, but yeah, it's not good. Revisualize. Where are you at? What part of the country are you in? How do you like MobX? I'm using it right now. I like MobX a lot. It's a lot simpler to use than Redux, and I think it's the proper solution for a lot of problems. I think people use Redux way too quickly because it's the thing that you're supposed to use with React for state management. But MobX does a really like elegant job of it, and it's a lot easier to pick up to begin with. And it can be appropriate for a lot of projects. At some point, if your project grows, if it gets really big, Redux is probably a better solution. And if you're trying to learn something to get a job, it's probably better to pick up Redux first because it's more popular, but I think they both have their place for sure. 30K in my country is a very good salary. Yeah, for sure, Lawrence. Down in the South Africa, yeah, for sure. How are taxes down in North Carolina? Young Carlo, that's a good question. In my opinion, they're slightly higher than what they were in Ohio, but I don't know kind of how they stack up to most places. Depends on the local area here. 18K a year is good. You tell them here even 30 and they'll laugh. Yeah, I think that like under the idea of what developers make in America, 30K seems too low. So that's why people will have a bad reaction. But you're right, depending upon where you're at in the world, those can vary quite dramatically. What is up, Jay Roster? How goes it, my man? Or lady? I don't know. You don't have a picture in Jay, it could be anything. Recruiters, I had one interview with a guy who would look me in the eye for, I believe, 2 long minutes as a tester. Oh, God. GTFO with that. Yeah, there are some interesting people. If you live outside of the city limits, like in Wake Forest, your property taxes are dirt cheap. Yeah, I can imagine that. I got married up near Wake Forest, up in Youngsville. It's an interesting spot up there, very rural. I'm actually moving to Chapel Hill, and I know their property taxes are actually pretty high, so... but yeah, we got us a place in Chapel Hill. Speaking of the language is an advantage or not at all, Jordan, are you in the US? It might be. I don't really know. I've never really thought about it. If you do client work and you have international clients, it would definitely be a positive. Should I take the interview even if I'm not confident in my JavaScript? Capture Cosplay, if you got offered an interview, my man, I would take it. See what happens. You never know what can happen. Go crush that. Go crush that interview. I was thinking of getting my first job and work for at least 1.5 years here in the New York area, then move, get some New York experience. Yeah, dude, New York experience is real. New York experience is real, man. People are impressed by New York experience. I can dig it. Isn't the average in the US around 60K for a developer? Let's see, I'll go back to Glassdoor. Web developer salaries. Average web developer salary in the US, this is for any work experience at all, is 88. If we look at, for a junior web developer, anywhere in the country, average is 67 for 0 to 1 years of experience, which is pretty close to what I've seen. I live in Morocco and I want to work remotely, but I don't know, is there any chance they're in the US or another place, and how and what I have to work on, like Portfolio or GitHub. So you probably won't be able to work for a company that's only based in the US, but plenty of US companies do outsource to other places and do hire remote developers. It's going to be harder as your first gig, but there's definitely a possibility. I don't know what the tech scene is like in Morocco, or if you can get attached to a company that does freelance work for outsourcing people. Like my company has an office in Cape Town, and we have an office here in Raleigh. So they've expanded, and they do use some international talent as far as the development side of things go. That's what's up, Jay. Well, welcome, my man. Well, welcome. Puck, puck, puck. I don't know what. Oh, Chicken Legs Productions. I get it. It's a chicken. I get your deal. What is up? Morgan, you're in Lewisburg. Lewisburg what? Lewisburg, North Carolina? Let me know. How is Morocco right now, Hafid? You're not the first person I've met from Morocco through this channel. Oh, man. Chicken Legs, how'd you find this channel, my dude? Or lady. I guess if you just laid eggs, you're not a dude. I'm going to put you in timeout, Chicken Legs Productions. I don't know what you're on about. I'm sorry that you're in Houston. I'm sorry for your Rockets. Gray Coder, sorry about the Rockets as well, if you care about basketball. I also have to say that I'm sorry that you live in Houston. Let me take this back. I don't hate Houston. I've had one bad experience in Houston, and it's spoiled the city for me. I should go back and give it another chance. I guess my statement is relative to location. So in your country, would you work for 10K a year? I won't even wake up for less than 55K a year, but my cost of living is lower than most. Dabber, where are you? But I totally understand the sentiment, my man. What's your recommendations for services to host a website so that I can practice my backend? Skylar, I don't have a good recommendation for you. I've used GatorHost in the past. I know the dreaded dev, was it HoboHost that he recommended? If Richard Codes is still in the chat, Richard, talk about the thing that you were posted yesterday on Instagram. And if you don't know, go to Richard Codes' Instagram. It's just at Richard Codes. He just posted something about some like crazy awesome deal when it comes to hosting. So check that out. What's my favorite thing about the triangle? You're looking for a job there. Honestly, I love being like a couple of hours away from the mountains, a couple of hours away from the beach, and in an area that's like city-like. It's big. It's not huge. It's not New York or anything, but it's big. There's always something to do. There's plenty of good restaurants. There's plenty of things to do and see. And then you've got the beach right there. You've got mountains right there. That's really cool. I'm from flat-ass, landlocked Ohio. You give me mountains and you give me a beach, I'm happy. What is up, Super Hazzle Dazzle? Bootcamp weekly meeting. Good luck. Have fun. But I've long experience. I did so for 4 years. Today I do more with freelancing. Yeah. It's all dependent upon where you are, though. What's up, Aaron? Live in the Midwest and have a prospective job on the West Coast, but they email me at midnight when responding to my emails. It's a legit company, but the late emails are strange. That is weird, but like, I don't know. You don't know what hours that person's working and when they like work on the specific like HR stuff. Sometimes when you get like stuff at companies, people are wearing multiple hats and they only have a certain amount of time that they can work on certain things. So it is a little weird to get an email at midnight if they're only a couple hours behind you, but that just might be the way they work. Maybe it's an office environment when you can work whenever you want. I've worked in that before. You can come in at noon and work till 8 if you want to, you know? That's a possibility. Uh-oh, have an interview in the morning for a Durham-based company, though. Wish me luck. Good luck. Morgan, oh no, did my stream just die? My stream might have just died. Are we still good? Everything just went red on my end. If you can still see me, put a number 1 in the chat. Also, if you haven't, hit that like button right now. We've got 49 people in the chat. Feel free to hit that like button. They are super awesome, and they make me smile. But back at it, Morgan. That is awesome. If you don't mind, Morgan, if you don't want to say it in the chat, that's fine. But feel free to let me know what company it is on Instagram or Twitter. I'd love to know. And if I know anybody there or if I know anything about it, I can try to give some tips. I used to work in Durham, right in downtown Durham, as a matter of fact, right by the Durham Bulls Stadium. It was a really cool place. Morocco is beautiful. Everybody wait the football match between our team and Ukraine. Yeah. Let's see. The U.S. played yesterday or 2 days ago against Bosnia. We play Saturday again. I'm super excited for it. I love U.S. men's national team games, and I'm really sad that they didn't make the World Cup. All right, we're good. We've got lots of ones in the chat. That's what's up. So, yeah, Morocco seems like I know Morocco's beautiful. I would love to go there. I would love to go there someday. So, yeah, anywhere in the Mediterranean I'm down to go to. Houston, too big, too hot, too many people. North Carolina has been much nicer to me. That's the one thing that I did not like about Houston was the traffic. At like 7 o'clock at night, there's like rush hour traffic. It was awful. Although there was a place, so I'm hungry and all I really want in my life is Taco Bell. So excuse me while I go on this rant for a second, but there's a place in Houston that I ate at near Rice University called Taco Cabana. And if I could do anything to have that right now, or actually here in like 2 hours when I can eat again, I would do anything for that. Anything. Anything. Speaking of food, Hafid, one of my favorite dishes that I've ever had, I used to work with a woman who was married to a Moroccan man, and she knew how to make this Moroccan sweet chicken dish that it was like cinnamon and I don't know. She referred to it as Moroccan sweet chicken, and it was one of the most glorious things I've ever ate. So if you have a recipe for that, feel free to hit a brother up. Feel free. How do you spell the last name? The last name of what? Spell the last name of what? Front end only code, I recommend GitHub Pages. Yeah, if it's just a front end, if you're just trying to like deploy a static site, GitHub Pages works. If you're trying to deploy a like single page app, I've used Firebase in the past. Firebase is pretty cool. It's free to use, so check out Firebase. It's also supported by Google now, which is really dope. Just if you're from Michigan, then we have a problem, my dude. You know I'm an Ohio State graduate, right? You know I'm an Ohio State graduate. Me and that team up north don't get along, my dude. Start a software dev internship on Monday. Do you have any advice? Nicholas, first off, claps in the chat for Nicholas. He starts an internship on Monday. That is super awesome, my man. Congratulations. As far as advice goes, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be intimidated. You have the internship for a reason. You're going to feel like you don't belong. Maybe you may get that like whiff of imposter syndrome that everybody gets. It's going to be okay. Learn as much as you can. Eat up everything that you can. Try to sit in on every like meeting that you can when it comes to the development things, and try to make good connections with people, because connections are key when it comes to everything in life. Like that's just the truth, and it can be bad for some people and it sucks for some people. I get it, but just do your best, give it your all, learn as much as you can, ask lots of questions, and make connections. Thinking of upping my CSS game. Any course suggestions? Jan Carlos, I would suggest CSS Grid and Flexbox courses by Wes Boss. They are free and they are awesome. Richard Code comes in with the server bolt hosting. They're not cheap, but they're the fastest hosting. That's their thing. You can get a month for free if you use the code Richard. And if they aren't faster, you get a year free. So Richard just plugged his own code in the chat. Where's the code Aaron, Richard? No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. Yeah, that's the hosting that Richard recommends. He says it's super duper fast. Would you recommend having a non-tech work experience on my resume? I'm 20, so I've only had 2 part-time jobs. I want to show I have work experience. I absolutely would. If you don't have experience in tech, you shouldn't not put anything on there. I put my previous jobs on there, and they show that you have some skills, right? I worked in retail sales. That was on my resume because it shows that I can communicate with people and I can get along with people and I can work in a retail environment and not make people want to like kill me or whatever. I don't know. Like it shows that you have good skills outside, like you have soft skills that kind of go along with this. I wouldn't be afraid to put non-tech related work experience on your resume. Larry sees me. You can't see me. Can Team Treehouse really be a one-stop shop for learning all your web dev skills, including some backend like PHP and MySQL? My opinion about Team Treehouse Macoder is that 1, I love Team Treehouse. I think it's really cool, and I really, really appreciate their mission. 2, if you're doing the $25 a month plan for them, it does a very good job of laying a base layer foundation of what you need to be a developer. Chris Sean got a job outside from just using Treehouse. It is possible. It's possible. However, I think it's probably a good idea to supplement Team Treehouse learning with things that dive in deeper, like things like Udemy or courses like that. That's what I think. That's just my personal opinion. Now, Team Treehouse now has these like, what are they, tech degree programs. They're more expensive. I don't know if they're worth it because I haven't done it and they're more expensive. So I can't really recommend it to you. I just use the basic $25 a month plan. So yeah, they may be worth it. Chris Sean seems to like them a lot. So I don't know. But yeah, it can happen. I would say it's not the only place that you should use them. Netlify is the bomb. Yeah, I've heard good things about Netlify, actually. They recommend it a lot when you're working with Gatsby. That and Surge for deploying stuff. Heroku. I forgot about Heroku. I've used Heroku in the past too. Heroku and Firebase are pretty similar, and it's free. And you can do backend stuff with Heroku, absolutely. Yeah, Morocco is known by the foods and things like this. If you will come to Morocco, I receive you on our house, and really it'll be a super experience. That would be awesome, man. Yeah, I know. Man, I love that whole, like, anything that's like Moroccan food. I love Greek food. I love Egyptian food. My wife is Lebanese, and let me tell you, when her mom throws down in the kitchen with that Lebanese food, I love all that stuff. So good. So good. I'd really like to see some recommendations about how to set up a portfolio and about how to gain exposure without working for free. Learn web design. I'm struggling here to get traction. So you don't necessarily need to learn web design in its entirety. Like, you don't need to become a web designer. You don't need to be a bomb Illustrator, like Illustrator or Photoshop user or Adobe XD user or whatever, right? You can kind of pick at other people's designs using like Dribble and use those for inspiration, really. When it comes to setting up a portfolio site, my number one recommendation would be do a quick Google search of web developer portfolio site recommendations, and there's going to be a bunch of them, and you'll see a lot of stuff, and you'll see stuff that's like so advanced that you're never going to be able to pull it off. Like I wouldn't have the time to build some of these portfolio sites, and that's fine. But you're also going to see some like super simple stuff that's just like designed really well and clean and gets across the message. Things don't have to be flashy. You don't need to have 400 animations for your portfolio site to be effective. As a matter of fact, sometimes people can overdo it and it gets kind of lost in the shuffle. You need to make a portfolio site that's clean, it's responsive, it's modern, and has the information and puts across the information that you're trying to sell yourself on, right? It's your representation on the web of your resume and your cover letter and who you are as a person and who you are as a developer. So as far as the design goes, I would check out Dribbble and Dribbble, DRIBBBLE.com, and then also just like a quick Google search and see what is popular right now, because it changes every so often too, right? 3 years ago, nobody would be caught dead with a gradient on their website. Then Instagram changes their logo, and all of a sudden, gradients are the new hotness in web development or in web design, right? Things change. So yeah, I would just try to keep up with the trend while you're building it and look up designs from other people. Super CSS skills and design is really important. Depends on what you're trying to do. There are people out there who get paid a lot of money, really good money. They have super dope gigs. And the reason why they do is because they're CSS geniuses. There are people who can do things with CSS that are super impressive. There are designers out there who get paid a ton of money because they're super awesome designers. Do you need it to be a front-end developer? No. Do you need to have CSS skills to be a front-end developer? Absolutely. You should be able to like position stuff. You should be able to like understand how to take a like Photoshop image like a PSD and turn it into a website. You should be able to do that. Are you going to write the cleanest CSS? Are you going to use the most elegant CSS? Are you going to do font sizes like Medium does? Maybe not, but you should have a good understanding and a good skill set when it comes to that. Struggling to get traction to find projects and inspiration. Revisualize. Did you watch my video about projects to build? I give you 4 right there that you can build right now. To your school. What school do you go to, Hafid? What school do you go to, Hafid? Hafid, do you speak any Arabic? I know a little bit. Giancarlo, have a good night, man. Have a good night. I will see you again soon, man. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I want to get into Node. Asked if I'm interested in backend development. I want to get into Node a lot. I just bought a PHP course. That'll be the next thing. The next thing that I get for sure is going to be the PHP course. Last month, we met students from Boston. They're studying medicine, but we met them and exchanged information. That's awesome. That's super cool. What is up, David Young? How is it going? How is it going? I've been going for an hour now. Look at that. 1 hour closer to me being able to eat. Is volunteer web development experience worth it? A local company is looking for someone 5 to 10 hours a week. I don't have experience and I'm just doing Team Treehouse to learn to code. I work full-time too. Oh man, we just talked about this. This is a really hard question to answer, right? Your situation is your situation. And I'm going to give you my advice when it comes to this. If you're still new, you're still starting out, and you're still learning, I would spend my time trying to do that. It's so hard. It's so hard to answer this question. I get this question a lot and it's hard to answer. I am morally, like my moral compass, my thought, if you were to ask me, should I work for free? My initial gut reaction always is going to be no, because you shouldn't. You shouldn't have to. But we live in a world that has a reality, and the pragmatic side of my brain wants to say, if it gets you the opportunity eventually and quickly, then it's worth it. But I wouldn't do it for too long and I wouldn't get stuck doing it. And I wouldn't get stuck doing too many favors. And I wouldn't turn a 5 to 10 hour volunteer job into a 20-hour volunteer job. And is it for a good cause? Is it for something that you believe in? Is it like an open source project or like code for good? Like those things are all really cool. And working on those for free is good because it's more like volunteering and like making a change in the world as opposed to like being someone's corporate slave and doing something for somebody to make a profit that you're not seeing any of, and you're trading value for no value back when it comes to like the monetary side of things. So there's a lot of things that go into it. Is experience important? Absolutely. And sometimes I guess you have to step on my morals to like get that experience, but it feels dirty to say yes. Absolutely, Polygons, absolutely. Do I do any kind of mentoring outside of YouTube for those who may have some long-winded questions? Asking for a friend. Not necessarily, like right away. Not like inherently. Like if you have quick questions or if you have something that you want me to review, I'm more than happy to take a look at it. There's no problems with sending me like over questions like that. I haven't done any sort of like one-on-one mentorship or anything. Be interesting to try to pull that off. I've never really thought of it, right? I still feel like I'm the one who needs mentoring and not the other way around. So it's hard for me to really wrap my head around doing that, but maybe in the future. It's an interesting concept. I don't know how I would pull it off. Do I like Ruby on Rails? Ruby on Rails is really cool. It's a really nice language to learn. It's a really cool community too. One of my good friends from my time at the boot camp is a Rails developer. He did the backend stuff on the app that we did for our final project, and he does the backend stuff on any random crazy project idea that I get. Yeah, Ruby on Rails is super useful. Now it's not as popular as it was, and it's declining a little bit in popularity. There might not be as many jobs for Rails as there were, say, like 3 or 4 years ago. But I mean, it's still really cool. The community is still really nice. So I'm a designer since '95, way back since '95. And we got no jobs in web now. In my opinion, is all about coding or UI UX. Designer is not a thing, in my opinion, at least at mid-level, apart from the rock stars. I still know a lot of designers here, but a lot of the people that I know that work in design at the companies that I've seen are a mix of designer. Like they have both web design and graphic design skills. And then you're right. A lot of people are what we call front-end unicorns. They have some design skills and they can be a developer, and not just some design skills, but they like can actually do design. Yeah. I did watch your project video. I'll watch it again. I've been super busy trying to apply for jobs. Rent needs to get paid. I feel that. I also have some volunteer stuff going on. I guess I just need to build. Yeah, gotta get that build going, my dudes. Got 2 job offers, but I don't know if the salary is fair. How do I know what is? JC, go to Glassdoor. Here, I'll show you. So if you go to Glassdoor, you just type in here. You go to salaries, the salaries tab at the top. Type in what the job title is. You're looking up salaries, and you can type in a location. You can pick years of experience, pick 0 to 1. If you know what the company size is, you can even do that. If you know what and then you can see what the reported salary is for your industry, the size of the company that you're getting an offer for, your experience level, and what your job title is. It's super useful. Glassdoor is what's up. Does an associate's degree in web development improve your chances of getting a job skill-wise? I'm up there, but I don't have any sort of credentials other than a high school diploma. I mean, it's not going to hurt. It's never going to hurt to have a degree, have a piece of paper that says you can do it. I don't have a degree in web development. I went to a boot camp. I have a certificate that says I finished a boot camp, but I don't have a degree. Which rolls right into the next question. Jay Roster, I have a creative writing degree from Ohio State. Creative writing. And did it help you get your first web dev job? Absolutely not. They did not care about my creative writing degree, although I did end up writing a blog post or 2, but no, it did not help me get my first web dev job. There are some companies that have barriers of entry though about that. Like they want you to have a degree. It doesn't need to be in creative or in computer science. So I guess I was able to apply to jobs that were like that if they had like those kind of drop down menu things on Indeed when you're first applying, like how many years of experience do you have? And you either have to lie or you can't apply. I think you can still apply, but I think they probably go to a bin that nobody ever checks. But yeah, creative writing with a focus in screenwriting. My school's name is EWA, and yeah, I speak Arabic and French and also English. I was trying to send you the link to my school, but it's forbidden. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't let links go through on the live chat for anybody except for me. I have that power. Let's see. So Arabic and French and English. Je ne parle pas français. I don't speak French. Arabic. Yalla. Hurry up. Yalla. Assalamu alaikum. I know some words. Not much, but I know a little bit. Ana mabsut. Ana mabsut to have you here, Hafid. What do you think of tech support jobs that require coding skills? A lot of these companies list HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery skills, but are tech support jobs dealing with people over the phone? Yeah, a lot of those are like support ticket jobs, right? So you have like current clients who have a problem and you need a quick fix. And if it's something simple, then it goes to your level or whatever level you're at. And then there's like tier 2 escalation and tier 3 escalation. And like the tier 3 people are like, I don't know, more experienced or whatever, or more specialized in whatever the specific product is. I have a buddy who's doing something like that right now that I went to the boot camp with, and you get exposed to a lot of different things and a lot of legacy code and a lot of really old stuff, and you are in the weeds debugging things all the time, squashing bugs. That's what your job is, and it's like really, really, really valuable experience that you can get, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with taking that as your first step, and it's one of those things too, like, if you like it, then you like it, and great, that's awesome. You can roll that up into a career or whatever. We got Dreaded Dev in the chat. Look who's back from the dead. Look who has decided to come out of the woodwork and return to YouTube. What's up, my man? How is it going? But seriously though, it's not a bad entry level gig by all means, and it's one of those things, like I said in that video about taking a non-technical job. It's the same exact thing. If it's not the position that you want to be in, that's fine. Take it, get the experience, get paid, and then get out and find the job that you really want to do, and use that experience to speak to that and get your next job. I know how to code, but web dev seems boring. Problem that web dev is all there is for non-degree holding coders. I don't know that that's all there is for non-degree holding coders. There are plenty of people in game development who don't have degrees in game development. It would probably be hard to get into like machine learning if you don't have a degree initially, unless you built some really cool stuff on your own and got recognized for it. You'd also need to have those math skills or learn them somewhere if you don't have a degree. But you know, that's how that goes. Data analytics, data science, and things like that using Python, you can totally get a job in without a degree. Yeah, database stuff you can get, like, well, I guess database can be web development too, but you know what I mean. What kind of development do you want to get into? What kind of programming are you looking at, my man? The dreaded dev has been busy. It is true. He has been busy. I sent the link on Instagram. Yeah, you are speaking Arabic good, and all this due to your wife. Thank you, man. I don't speak it well. You don't have to lie to me. I know I have bad Arabic skills. It's fine. I appreciate that though. Honestly. Thank you. Oh man, everybody's saying what up to Dreaded Dev in the chat. Everybody spam that he needs to make more videos. Yeah, Michael, machine learning is not the easiest thing to get into if you don't have a degree. I will give you that. That's definitely true. But if you can build some stuff on your own and get recognized, maybe start blogging about it. I know that sounds dirty, but try to get into it with some people. Try to go to meetups. Like if there are any machine learning meetups in your area, try to get involved in that community and see if you can roll that up into a job. Me personally, I would love to get into machine learning. But what I would need to do is like really take a look back at like linear algebra and stuff like that. And I just don't know if I have the time, the wherewithal, or the patience to really get back into that, you know? I don't know. If you guys don't know, I know we have a few people here in the chat. I don't know if everybody doesn't know, but if you don't know Dreaded Dev, he is in the chat. Go check his channel out. He does web development. He does it with a whole different flavor than I do. And it's awesome. Dude is amazing. So go check his channel out. I've heard rumors that there may be videos coming back soon. We will see. We will see. The Kaggle comps. I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming it's a competitions for machine learning. It's probably a good first step, or third step, or second step. What up, Tito? Did you see my video that I sent you on the Insta? Tito, aka Edgar. Dreaded Dev is your hero, Chito. What about me? If Dreaded Dev's your hero, what am I? I'm just another guy on YouTube. Come on, Chito. You can't say that in my chat. Say that in Dreaded Dev's chat. Hashtag code gang. Hashtag whole lot of code shit. You already know what's up. I think I'm really just struggling to find the inspiration to actually build projects. I've put myself through tutorial hell for I feel too long. I guess I need to just STFU and build stuff. Honestly, dude, I feel that so hard. You can get so caught up in learning and just get burnt out. But honestly, the best part about development is building things. So once you get in there and you solve that first hard problem on your own, it's an endorphin rush, my man. It's an endorphin rush. And I promise you, once you start building stuff on your own, that's where the high comes in. Those rumors were from JBJ, the dude JBJ. And that man never tells the truth. That's what I've heard. I've heard he's a liar and a cheat. I'm glad you liked it, Tito. Thank you for your help on that. This is a secret between Edgar and I that I can't share, but you'll see soon enough. That's what's up, Chitto. Appreciate it, man. My hat is a lot cooler than Dreaded's. No, seriously, I don't know. People stop me in stores and are like, hey, man, your hat's sweet. It's weird. I've never had compliments on hats until the last couple of years. It's interesting. Always at Target, too. We should do a live stream together sometime. Lauren's thinking face emoji. I like where your head's at. And I'm not saying that the boy Dreaded is going to be on a live stream on my channel. I'm not saying that he is. But what I am saying is that if you guys didn't see my last video, I'm going to be doing a 10-hour live stream on June 30th to celebrate 10,000 subscribers. That's an hour per 1,000 subscribers, 10,000. I'm going to be doing a bunch of giveaways, one giveaway an hour with a really big one sometime in between. I'm going to be doing a bunch of crazy things. I might stream video games on here, because how am I going to fill up 10 hours of time? I don't really know that I can do that without, I don't know, playing some League of Legends or something crazy on the stream. So we'll see. I might do that. But I also might try to find some people to have on the stream with me, some guests. Some familiar faces, some unfamiliar faces. We'll see what's up. Did you feel the boot camp was worth it? There's a popular video on YouTube where the girl says she spent $10K to learn how to search Google. Well, kind of true, right? This is my opinion about boot camps, and I will be the first. Okay, this is full disclosure mode. To answer your question, was the boot camp worth it? Yes, it was worth it for me. Now, I was very fortunate, very lucky to be in the position that I could go to the boot camp and it wouldn't set me back financially. It didn't ruin my life. It didn't ruin my credit. I ended up in a good spot once I got out. I went to a good boot camp in a good area that had a good reputation. That can't be said for every boot camp, and not all boot camps are created equally. Another big caveat. There is no reason why you have to go to a boot camp to learn everything that I learned at the boot camp. I learned how to Google really well when I was at the boot camp, and that's an important skill. I actually have notes for a video about that. That's going to be coming up soon. What the boot camp did for me was I said, I'm putting this money on the line. I'm going to fork over this large sum of money, and that means I can't fail. Past that, I had class every day. I was held accountable by a teacher. I was held accountable by the loan that I took out. I was held accountable for my actions. I knew I wanted to do this, but I was not entirely sure that I could pull it off without the ability to have somebody tell me that I needed to do it. Does that make sense? I needed to have that hand-holding to actually do it. Because if I was just going to do it on my own, if I was just going to buy Udemy courses and all of that stuff, I know who I am. And I don't know that I would have ever gotten it done. Or if I did, it would have taken a year. It took me 12 weeks to get there. Also, I just saw that chat. I'm a terrible person. I know exactly what I just had this conversation. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. Y'all throwing me off my game. Watching tutorials gets you trapped. You'll build stuff from courses. Think you're doing good until you build your own projects from scratch, then you're lost. That's absolutely true, Tyler. That's absolutely true. Also, everybody in the chat right now, I'm a bad son. My dad's birthday was yesterday. Everybody in the chat, say happy birthday to my father. Say happy birthday to Papa, Aaron, and Beta. What is up, Osvaldo? How are you? It is a learning experience for sure, but I agree with you, Tyler. That's been my own opinion about this forever. I agree these dudes along with Traverse Media I look up to in coding, and I want to get on their level. You'll get there, man. Keep hustling. Keep doing your thing. Keep going at it. You'll get there. I don't know if you just heard that, but my stomach just rumbled. Also, guys, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm going to be ending the stream really shortly. So feel free to throw any last minute questions in the chat, and I'll try to get to them before I have to run away. You'll learn the material and remember it better after being stuck and lost for hours trying to figure out where to start. Yes, absolutely. For sure. Are you doing this YouTube thing as like a personal fulfillment, or are you trying to make yourself a business? It started off just kind of to document my journey, and I was unemployed, so I needed something to do, and I've always been interested in it. Now it's really just, it's evolved. Would I love to be able to support myself from YouTube? Absolutely. But I also just really like coming and hanging out and like talking to you guys and sharing knowledge and seeing where everything is going with people. Like I've built real relationships through this thing, and that's wild. Yeah, it's been wild. I don't know. I want to grow it, and I want to grow the community, and I want to help people out, and I want to see where it goes from there. If I have an opportunity for junior web developer, but I need my resume to seem like I know the basics, what are things I should do projects-wise? Is there anything you can think of for me? XSZZLE, my man or woman. I have a video. It's like a video I posted 2 times ago. It's 4 projects to build for your portfolio. Go check it out. It will lay out 4 projects that you can build to throw on your portfolio or resume. If you get another 1,000 by June 30th, are you doing another hour? Don't put that on me. Don't put that on me, Edgar. Don't do that. What's a good resource for somebody to have their HTML code fixed? I created a navigation menu that doesn't meet HTML validation and needs help. By the way, you rock like Fall Out Boy in 2006. Oh, sugar, we are going down. We are going down for sure. HTML validator. There should be a Chrome plugin for it, right? There's also validator.w3.org. That's a validator service if that's what you're looking for. JavaScript 30 by Wes Boss is also awesome. You build 30 JavaScript projects in vanilla JavaScript in 30 days. It's really cool. What is the meaning of the name of your channel? By the way, I liked your pictures on Instagram. Well done. You know, because of you, many guys will start web development because you make it easy. I hope so. I hope so. Thank you, Hafid. You're just showering me with love today. What's the name behind my channel? So when I first started this channel, I was doing a big switch in my life, right? I was going from a career in retail and food and beverage and all of that stuff into coding. And so beta testing, being in beta, like that's a coding term. And I kind of like to view my life in through that lens, right? You're always trying to get better. You're always testing out things. You're always trying. You're always failing. You're always fixing bugs in your life, and you're always getting better. You're getting one step closer to release. And in my opinion, software can be released. It can get out of beta. But for me and life and that sort of thing, you're always in beta. You're always trying to get better. You're always trying to improve. You're always trying to move to the next level. So that's where the name comes from. Oh, Lord. Chat just jumped. Hey, Aaron, any tips how to get a freelance job on Upworks or freelance? No one wants to accept my bid since I have no experience. I'm sure many other developers have the same struggle. Armin, I've never used those sites to try to get freelance work. So I apologize, but I don't have any good tips. The best way that I know of how to get freelance jobs, honestly, just starting out so you can get some experience, is to just go to your local mom and pop shops and try to build websites for them. Go try to hustle, try to be a salesman, and say, hey, coffee shop down the street, or a restaurant down the street, or hookah bar down the street, or whatever it is. Your website sucks, or you don't have a website. Why don't you have a website? Let me build a website for you. Give me $500 or whatever it is you want to charge. I could teach someone backend technologies fairly well. I think having a good instructor is worth the cost, but then again, make sure they're good instructors. Absolutely. Having good instructors is worth the cost. Having accountability is worth the cost for sure. And honestly, like the boot camp that I went to, the connections that I made from there and the connections they had to the community, beyond worth it. It's the reason why I am where I am now, because of that boot camp. I'm super grateful for that. Lots of happy birthdays in the chat. Lots of happy birthdays. Absolutely, Ben. Thanks, Polygons. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Well, I mean, you didn't have to spell it out for them. T. Jeez. I literally had this conversation. I literally talked about it on the 27th with my wife. I hate myself right now. If you guys don't know, you guys want me to get sentimental for a second, and this will be how I wrap the stream up. If you guys don't know, my dad's in the chat, and my mom might be as well. My niece is here, and I live far away from them now. I live 8 hours away. I'm in North Carolina. They live in Ohio, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. It really sucks because I really, really, really love my parents a lot. My parents are awesome people. I look up to them. They're every bit of a role model like a boy could ask for. And there's no way that I would be where I am in this world today without being able to look up to them and all of the hard work and all of the struggle they went through throughout my life, to be at every baseball game or football game or whatever it was, to support me in all of my crazy endeavors, to buy me my first guitar, all of that stuff. If you guys want to say thank you for anybody for this channel, honestly, it's them, because they've inspired me to do this, to do everything, to try to be a good person, and to try to do good in the world. So yeah, my parents are really, really dope. They're way better than I am. They're way cooler than I am. So yeah. I'm getting a computer science degree, but I'm curious, is it worth it for a web developer job? It's definitely not worth it. If you can afford it, if it's not going to waste your time, if you want to have the college experience, computer science degree is really good for setting that base layer of understanding theoretical stuff that I have no idea about. Computer science degrees still have lots of value. They're not the only path anymore, but they definitely are a path. If I could support myself full time on YouTube, if that's what you're asking, would I still do web development? I would. A dream world, the dream scenario would be if I could full time make a living on YouTube doing what I do now, while building a business of my own and being my own boss and building something that I could build separate from YouTube, obviously, like a business, not like influencer, like BS, like selling merch and stuff like that, like a real business, like a digital agency, which I talked about earlier in the stream, or like a consultancy type of thing, and then document that journey on YouTube as well. I think that would be the dream. Can you maybe do a video on imposter syndrome? Because I think it needs to be discussed more, since a lot of developers suffer from it, including me big time. Lawrence, I suffer from it too. And I actually have done a video on imposter syndrome, but it was a long time ago. I think it was my like 5-month update video. I talk about it, and I was a lot weirder and more awkward then. So I totally understand and it was a long time ago, so I understand if you missed it. I really should do another video about that. I appreciate the suggestion. That's a good idea. Web dev in community college for 1 year, no financial cost because of financial aid, or computer science degree with remaining 2 years with a ton of debt. Thanks. Oh man, that's a hard question. It's really dependent upon your situation. Do you think you're going to be able to get a job and be able to recoup the cost of the debt? I don't know what a ton of debt is for you, right? The way that I looked at the debt that I accumulated from my time at the boot camp was the amount of money that I would make over what I was making at the time surpassed what the cost of the boot camp was, so it made financial sense for me to take it. Have a good night, man. Get some sleep. I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Have a good night, my man. What are some of the interview questions, technical or soft skills, that you had to answer in your current or past jobs? Nicholas, that is a great question. It's a long answer. That really should be a video on its own. I'll give you some examples. How do you approach projects? You're given a blank slate. How do you approach a project from the beginning? What's your mindset? How do you like to build things? Are you a quick and dirty kind of developer, or do you like to perfect everything from the first get-go? Mindset questions about like that sort of thing were pretty common in my interviews. I had some technical questions like given an array of given a data set, you have this chunk of data and there's information in that data and you need to display it on the page and you need to loop through it, pseudocode out how you would do it. And then to add on to that, okay, so you're going to make a row out of each one of these objects, and alternating rows need to be this color, and every fifth row needs to have a line under it. How would you do that? Pseudocode on a whiteboard. That was a technical question that I had. I had a technical question. Write like pseudocode an algorithm for a tic-tac-toe game to determine whether any particular move is a win or a loss. And then once I did that, essentially, okay, iterate on it and make it bigger because it's your algorithm right now isn't the most efficient it could be. That was another one. I got a technical question. I was given a sheet of paper that had some code on it. It had a for loop on it that was written in C#, I think, which I don't know C#. It was pretty similar to a JavaScript loop, though, to be honest. And I was told that I got one move on it, right? It has this for loop. There's a chunk of code and there's a for loop. And there's a bug in the for loop, but I could only do one thing. I could either add one character, remove one character, or replace one character to get it to work. That was another technical question that I had. Yeah. Making my parents blush. Good thing my dad has a beard. You can't see his cheeks. I'm just kidding. The imposter syndrome disappears once you have trained your intrusiveness in a lot of areas. Yeah, and I'm sure it can creep up eventually again. There's always going to be crazy stuff. Is Mern a good stack for a web app that will eventually become a mobile app? So yes, but you're not going to be able to use... So you can use React Native to make the front end for the mobile app. And having a base layer understanding of React and building it in React the first go around will make it easier to build in React Native the second go around. Fizzbuzz, I've never actually got asked Fizzbuzz in an interview. So yeah, you can use conditionals. That's what I did the first time. And it works. But you have to check infinitely the amount of spaces on the board. You always have to check every space on the board if you just do simple if-else statements. So it's not the most efficient thing in the world. But guys, that is all I am going to be able to do today. It's been an hour and a half. This was a long one. I usually only go for like an hour. So I appreciate you guys coming out. Honestly, you guys are the best. If you have any more questions, leave them in the comments after the stream is posted live. If you haven't already, hit the like button because they're super awesome and they signal boost to the stream so it gets out to more people, which is always awesome. Once again, honestly, if you haven't watched my last video, go check it out. I say thank you a bunch and I put emojis on the screen as my hands make movements. Honestly, guys, blown away by the month we've had here at this channel. The growth that I've seen this month is unprecedented for me. I appreciate you guys, each and every one of you, so much. You take the time out to come hang out in these streams and show support and show love. You guys are awesome. And I couldn't do this without you, literally. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you guys have a good Wednesday. I will see you again very soon. Check out another video coming this week. Bye.